Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're doing the Shrine of Secrets review for the 30th of May 2023. Again, it's came out on a Tuesday, so I'm pretty sure that that's right. I wasn't here again yesterday, so I'm doing it today, but I'm pretty sure that it is it is Tuesdays now, I'm guessing. It's like Tuesday evening for UK time, so I'm guessing that's the new norm. But yeah, so I'll try like I said, to keep on top of it as much as I can, but it's an awkward time for it to come out, basically. Okay, first of all, we have Iron Will, which is a Jake perk, and this one also once you're injured, your grunts of pain caused by injuries are reduced by 75%, but this does not trigger if you're exhausted, and also doesn't cause exhausted. So it's used to be really good. It used to be 100%, and the exhausted thing wasn't even there. It used to literally just be your grunts of pain were completely silent, and now it doesn't do that. And now it's really weak, I would say, because 75% is the same as tier 3 no Mither, and it's pretty good, but killers with headphones can still hear it probably, and they can still follow your pools of blood, so it doesn't help a lot. And also, again, the fire doesn't work when you're exhausted is also a bit silly in my opinion, because like it says, it doesn't even cause exhausted. It's just if you happen to be exhausted, then it doesn't work. Um, so I really think this perk has really gone down. I think a lot of people agree that people just don't use it anymore. It used to be a really popular perk, and now they've kind of buried it. Basically, they've just nerfed it into the ground, and it's just buried under much better perks to use. So I think it's pretty weak personally, but maybe it has its values. I don't know. Next up, we have Predator, which is a Wraith perk, and this one I've talked about a lot, so I won't spend too long on it. But scratch marks left by survivors spawn close together, which basically means it's more of a narrow path, because when survivors run, the scratch marks sometimes go at walls, and everything else, they go everywhere, but this kind of narrows them and makes it like more of a clear, direct line of scratch marks. But I think a perk slot for that is pretty silly. I think it's good for like a training wheels perk, but other than that, I think it's again pretty weak. Perk slot for this is not worth it at all. Good if you're new and you're learning it, but then you'll learn it quickly, and then you won't really need this anymore. And I still have my moments where scratch marks go upstairs a little bit, but they didn't go upstairs just because the way they ran. But still, am I going to swap out something for this just to narrow the scratch marks? Definitely not. Another weak perk is Territorial Imperative, which is a Huntress perk. Again, I've talked about this before. It basically just shows the auras of survivors who enter the basement when you are a certain radius away, and then has a cooldown. I think it's way too situational. Um, Again, I don't know if you maybe want to combine this with like other like basement-ish perks, I guess. But I just think if you're 32 meters away from it, you're gonna have to run all the way back to the basement. If you're already in a chase, you're not gonna drop the chase just to go into basement. Um, because again, the 32-meter thing, like you're at least 32 meters away, so you see him for 3 seconds. It's only 3 seconds. I don't know if it tells you when you see it. Like if you're occupied doing something else, if you're carrying someone to a hook, if you're in a chase or you're kicking a gen and you're not facing that way, then you won't see it. And besides, also, you get the loud noise notification when someone gets rescued from the basement. So I feel like, obviously, people go into the basement for the chest as well. But I mean, how often do people really do that? And then if they're going to the basement for rescues, which is probably why you're using this perk, then you'll just get the loud noise notification probably 3 seconds later anyway. So then you'll know that someone's there in the basement. You know what I mean? So this perk just is complete waste of time. It just falls flat, and it's just shouldn't exist in my opinion. And finally, we have Metal of Man, an Ashley perk, which covers holds half the screen again. After you score, after you earn free protection hits, sorry. Um, After you earn free protection hits scoring events. Okay, yeah. I was trying to read that at the same time. Basically, you take free protection hits, it activates, and then once it's activated, you get put into deep wounds uh, the next time you go to dying. Um, so instead of going to dying, you go into deep wounds basically, which is the endurance stats effect, and then the next time you heal back to full health, your aura gets revealed to the killer when you are a certain radius away from them, and then it deactivates the next time you're put into the dying state. It also increases your chance to be the killer's session. So that's a lot. I haven't really explained that very well because I'm trying to read it, but also I'm using what I know. Plus, I've never really used this perk. Basically, you take protection hits, and then you get rewarded for that by having endurance. So instead, the next time that you'd go into dying state from injured, you'll just be put into deep wounds instead, as if you use dead hard or borrow time or something. And then once you heal, your aura gets revealed and then deactivates the next time you're put into the dying state. And I think it's okay. I think again, this perk used to be godly when it came out, but I don't think it's again like a terrible perk. I think it's actually pretty decent, but I feel like free protection hits is quite a lot. It's one of those perks that you have to kind of go out of your way to get value from it, and I don't really like those perks because instead of doing gens or healing teammates or opening exit gates, you're instead running out of the killer to force protection hits. Basically, it doesn't really come very naturally. You have to do free as well, which is quite a lot, I'd say, because protection hits are either hits to protect other survivors, of course, or hits that you take while the killer is carrying another survivor, if that makes sense. So there's only really two ways to get it, and you have to kind of force yourself to get those hits. And I just feel like it's not that worth it. I mean, it is, but it's free protection hits. You have to do a lot. You're not really contributing a whole lot to the team because you're just going to be running around, trying to take hits for teammates and just, it's really forcing yourself to do it. You can try and make a build out of it, I guess. Maybe breakout. Maybe I don't know. I've never used this perk, so I don't know. And then again, you get your aura revealed and everything, and it deactivates if you put into the dying state. So personally, I think it's decent, but I don't think it's very good either. And that being said, I don't think I would recommend any of these. Maybe Metal of Man because, like I said, it's like a niche one. It's a fun one, I guess. If you've got a team of friends, you can do it with that, I guess. But I've never used it, so I can't say much about it. It just, it's quite complicated, and you have to do a lot to get it, and you have to make sure you use it properly. Because once you get that endurance, if you just get hit like randomly, then it's kind of wasted. If they have Save the Best for Last, they'll just shred through it basically. And these other perks I just said are really not good. These are honestly really bad perks. So I would save your shards for another week probably, and see what comes out. Maybe get yourself a nice outfit if you if you're eyeing one. I don't know. Guys, that'll do it from me. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you found this useful, and I will see you in the next one.